Congrats, you exist. Well, kinda. Right now, you're crammed inside your mother's womb with a bunch of your siblings. Except, here's the catch, they're not just family, they're also your first meal. Because in the cutthroat world of the Megalodon Shark survival, childhood isn't a thing. The struggle to survive kicks off before you're even born in this shark-eat-shark world. Bye, Fred, you were a solid brother. So you're munching on the unfertilized eggs your mother gifts you. Not quite a 5-star meal, but hey, it's free, convenient, and high in protein. Every bite is like leveling up in a video game, pumping you full of gains until you're 6.5 feet long before even taking your first breath. And then, bam, the moment of truth. You get yeeted out into the open ocean, and suddenly, the only thing colder than the water is reality. You've spent months in the ultimate luxury suite being pampered with unlimited food and no real competition. Now you're just another overgrown fish floating in the vast, unforgiving void of the deep blue with nothing but instinct and trauma to guide you. Your mother is gone. No final pep talk, no good luck, sweetie. Just a disappearing shadow in the deep, leaving you to fend for yourself. Your first instinct? Find food. Your second instinct? Don't become food. Even though you're technically still a baby, you've got enough bite and bad attitude to throw down with a modern-day great white shark. And don't be fooled. Even though you kinda look like a great white, Jaws has nothing on you. So your size makes you a threat to some, but a snack to others, all at once. Larger sharks, orcas, even your own kind. One wrong move and you're done. So you keep moving, sticking to the shallow waters where the water is warmer and the prey is small. It's not glamorous, but at least you're not getting eaten by an adult megalodon before you've even learned how to hunt properly. Speaking of hunting, yeah, it's giving first day at the gym energy. Your name literally means megatooth, but your baby teeth are not exactly built for breaking bones yet. You chase down a fish, but your depth perception is still buffering, and you miss epically. Embarrassing. You try again, lunging at a stingray, only for it to swerve like it's playing Mario Kart. Not the flex you were hoping for. You give up on top-tier hunting and resort to the one thing you can do, picking off the leftovers. You're out here hovering near carcasses, waiting for scraps to drift your way like you're in a drive-through line at closing time. And just when you think things can't get worse, you smell it. Blood. Lots of it. And while your shark brain is screaming, food, your self-preservation mode is screaming, run! Because if there's blood, there's a bigger predator. And if there's a bigger predator, there's a solid chance you're the next meal. So naturally, you ignore every survival instinct you've got and head straight toward the smell, hoping for an easy meal. YOLO, right? You're young, but also dumb and starving. And then you see it, a dead whale, floating like some grotesque, bloated, all-you-can-eat buffet. Jackpot! But just as you're about to take your first bite of victory, they show up. The real bosses of the ocean, adult megalodons, each the size of a school bus, slicing through the water like torpedoes. You freeze, suddenly feeling very bite-sized. This is their turf, and unless you want to be on the menu, you better stay in your lane. So you do what any self-respecting, wannabe apex predator would do. You loiter on the edges, pretending like, oh, me? Nah, I'm just passing through. Hoping for a crumb, maybe a whale-flavored nibble they don't notice. But someone definitely notices. A shadow shifts, the current changes, and before you can react, an older, bigger, and scarier megalodon is charging straight at you, jaws wide open. Your survival instincts go full send and you bolt, tail whipping furiously as you flee into the shallow waters where adult megalodons are too big. Your tiny heart is pounding, your muscles on overdrive, and your whole existence flashing before your eyes. Years pass, you get bigger, stronger, faster. At 20 feet long, you're officially out of the easy snack category. But you're still not the ultimate apex predator. Think mid-level video game villain. Intimidating, but still catching L's from time to time. At least now, fewer creatures are out here actively trying to yeet you off the food chain. Although your hunting game is still a work in progress. One day, you spot a dolphin swimming, minding its own business, but as soon as you swim towards it, the dolphin yeets itself out of the water at the last second like it's auditioning for the Olympics, and you go full speed into a reef. The impact rattles your skull so hard, you're seeing bubble emojis. You shake off the secondhand embarrassment, pretending like no one saw. But let's be real, you just got clowned by a dolphin. But do you give up? Nah, you try again. And again, because that's the thing about being a megalodon. Failure isn't an option. Either you get good at hunting or you starve. And starving is not on your agenda. So you start fine-tuning your killer instincts, perfect your timing, and learn from every failed hunt. It's all part of your training to grow up to be one of the largest species of fish to ever exist. Lucky for you, megalodon sharks are not just cold-blooded like most fish. You can generate heat through the contraction of your muscles while swimming, which raises your internal temperature so you can adapt in the surrounding waters. And before you know it, you become unstoppable. After taking some L's from faster prey, you've finally done it. You're over 50 feet, bone-crunching apex predator legend weighing over 30 tons. Your powerful bite is over 40,000 pounds, which is stronger than a T-Rex's bite force. The vast ocean is your kingdom. No more snack-sized fish. No more getting bullied by bigger sharks. Today, you feast. Your target? A juvenile whale. Big enough to be a proper meal, but not big enough to be a problem. Perfect. You roll up like a boss, your massive shadow darkening the sea like you just blocked the sun itself. The whale barely has time to process what's happening before you drop the most unhinged, bone-shattering chomp in history. You don't really care for chewing even though you have over 200 teeth. You take big bites and swallow whole, and just like that, you've made it. You're him, the apex predator, the boss of the ocean, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the deep. You live out years of your life feeling like you are on top of the world. Every sea creature thinks you are the monster of the ocean. And it's the dream life of a megalodon, hunting, eating, sleeping, and repeating. Well, you don't actually sleep in the way you'd think. You actually just swim perpetually to keep your oxygen levels filled from water passing through your gills. No rest day for you. One day, you're enjoying the conquest of yet another juvenile whale. Life is good. Or so you think, because the vibes suddenly shift. The water around you gets sus, like someone just entered the group chat uninvited. You freeze mid-chew, feeling the tension build, and that's when you see it. Another megalodon. But not just any megalodon, this one is bigger, scarred, older, easily pushing 90 years old, which is the average lifespan of a megalodon. The kind of shark that's seen things, fought things, won, and now it's staring right at you. And suddenly, all that confidence evaporates because, see, being at the top of the food chain doesn't mean you're safe. It just means no one's above you, except your own kind. And this guy, he hasn't made any moves yet, just circling, watching, calculating. He knows something you don't. And then it clicks. He's waiting for you to burn yourself out, waiting for you to bleed just a little too much from this hunt, waiting for the perfect moment to take what's yours without even trying. You're in a standoff for a bit, just eyeing each other down. You are ready to fight, but something tells you to let him have the remains of your meal and to swim away. Have you gone soft all of a sudden? You realize that being an apex predator doesn't feel so powerful. It feels temporary. You can fight for dominance, or you can hand over the meal like a punk. Either way, you're not as unstoppable as you thought. The ocean doesn't care who earned the crown. It only cares who's left standing. You spent your whole life fighting to be the biggest, baddest, most terrifying thing in the ocean, only for it to be fleeting. The ocean starts getting colder, sea levels lower, causing more seawater to get locked up as polar ice. Your favorite whale snacks migrate to different waters. Ecosystems shift. Unlike the scrappy little sharks that can eat whatever they find, you need luxury dining. Whole whales, massive feasts. Anything less? Starvation City. Your appetite is a full-time job to maintain, and if hunger doesn't take you out, something else will. See, while you were busy being the biggest thing around, a new wave of killers was quietly leveling up. Enter the orcas. Smaller? Yes. Weaker? Maybe. But smarter? Embarrassingly so. These guys roll up like a tactical SWAT team, roll in squads, coordinating attacks and taking down creatures way bigger than them. And for the first time in your life, you're the one being hunted and not the main predator. You're the target. Everything you've ever known is turned upside down. The ocean that once handed you whale-sized meals on a silver platter is now silent. Your massive, energy-hungry body is a curse instead of a flex. You drift through empty waters, your once mighty jaws now snapping at scraps. Where there used to be abundance, now there is just hunger. And while you're out here starving, struggling on your villain-era downward spiral, guess who's thriving? Your smaller, scrappier, annoyingly efficient cousins, the great whites. While you were out here being the ocean's high-maintenance apex diva, these guys were hustling, eating anything they could get, surviving and adapting in colder waters, not relying on big prey like some spoiled rich kid who only eats organic. And then one day, you are the last megalodon left. Your species has been wiped out. Not by some cool Hollywood-style asteroid impact. Not by some legendary sea battle. Nah, just slow, brutal irrelevance. One final dive into the depths, and just like that, the Megalodon is no more. Fast forward a few million years, and here we are. A great white shark is just out here cruising through the ocean, living its best life, totally unbothered and still vibing. And guess what? Your annoying little cousin won. They basically jacked your entire look. Big shark, fearsome reputation, apex predator status, but did it better. They survived, they adapted, and now they're out here snatching up seals like it's no big deal, instead of starving just for the aesthetic. Meanwhile, you're a museum exhibit, a meme, a what if. So yeah, your life as a Megalodon shark? Not great. You had one job, stay on top, and somehow you fumbled it.